You stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Sim Racing Media Network. My name is Angel Santiago. I'm joined tonight with my broadcast partner, Daniel Paulus Jr. I apologize for that start there. I removed the screen before finishing putting my cameras in to make sure we can get the best camera angles we can get for you guys. Daniel, welcome back. Sorry we missed you last week. We know you had that emergency. And, well, we're happy to have you back here. And, man, we're at Auto Club tonight.
Nice track to go to, and especially with the trucks. We don't see the trucks very often here at Auto Club Speedway, and we know in real life Auto Club isn't tracked anymore, and that's what makes it even more special here tonight.
Yeah, where we've seen now the videos, the pictures of this place getting torn down. Very, very sad to see, but that's just the thing with so many people, is they're so angry about it, but at the same time, the track, like they said, it was wearing out, and it's either a repave or do something different, and we know what a repave is going to do. It's just going to make them flat out with the speed, and it's going to take years for this track to get back to what it once was. So I don't mind them trying something different with the track, Daniel. How do you feel about that?
You know, once you start losing the track over the years, like you mentioned, it's either a repave or they have to try something different. And we know when there's a repave, there's not as good racing as we expect, and the performance isn't as well either. So I think personally, it's time for a change. We know Auto Club has been a fun, entertaining track, but you know it's 2023. New changes are going to have to occur either now or sometime very soon. And now that it's happening, and seeing those pictures from the track getting demolished here, hopefully they do the short track, because that's going to be very interesting. It's going to have bankings like Bristol, but flat front and straightaways just like Martinsville. So it's kind of cool putting two different tracks into one and seeing how they perform on that.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how that's gonna turn out. You know, are we gonna get these? I guess how you say it, are we? How much of that short track action are we gonna get that that we're used to? That much we don't know. I guess we'll definitely leave that up to those. Oh, Daniel, I forgot to put your name back on there from last week. But we're at Auto Club here, as mentioned. Hold on, everybody. We'll get Daniel's name put back up. And looks like the ambient temp is 65 degrees with a humidity of 83%, 7 miles per hour wind, which means track temp's going to be 66, nice and cool. And we all know what that means. That means we're going to have some nice grip for tonight's race.
And tire wear, I'm going to bring in tire wear very quick, Angel. You know, the tires do get chewed up very easily here tonight from Auto Club Speedway, and you want to save the tire wear as much as possible. You don't want to use it all up in the first run, because we only have a certain set of tires, and if you don't save a set for the end of the race, it can potentially jeopardize your opportunity at winning tonight.
Yeah, and you're talking about, all about that tire wear. It's going to be very, very important for these trucks as they go full throttle through most of these turns for a good while. We'll try to get through this starting grid quickly. We're a little bit behind. We apologize. Steven Shu here on pole tonight in his Toyota Tundra, home track for the Toyotas. Chris Melton, Daniel Love, second and third. Row 2, Chris Barker along with them. Row number 3 belongs to Brandon Hinton and James Wagoner. Nice to have him back as now getting his second race back. Chris Ramsey, Matthew Ace in row number 4, and Jeff Scott, Mark Morton. My goodness, I'm saying Mark Martin. What's wrong with me over here, Daniel? As we're getting ready to go green flag racing.
See now the truck off turn 4. Field doubling up here. As C-Pig's truck hits pit road, the 00, Steven Shu's going to lead this field to green. Green flags in the air. We are racing at Auto Club.
Green flag racing from Auto Club for the Roughneck Racing Series. We're having just a little bit of technical issues here. Let's get these cars back in.
Right there. Steven Shu battling side by side with Chris Melton in the 49 area. It's going to go to the 49, who takes the lead here on lap 1 with Steven Shu just to his outside. Going to get a run here from now, third four.
As he comes off of turn number 4, it's a side-by-side battle for first as Steven Shu, Chris Melton still stays battling hard for this lead as they go into 1, as they are 3, 4, they are almost looking 5 wide behind them for those, I don't know, 4th, 5th, 6th positions, however many you can throw under that blanket right there.
You see all this big group of drivers here are going to have to sort it out very quick here as they're entering turn number 3. You see right there, 25 of Brandon Hilton in that pink and blue machine on the inside line there. Still 3 wide, action heading off turn 4.
Man, this is just why I love this track so much. Is just look at all the action we can get here. Look at this. This is 3 wide. This is absolute chaos. I don't typically do this early in the race, but let's jump on board with somebody that's just sitting in the middle of all this. I mean, what do you do here, Daniel? It is chaos. And then the bumps here. Oh, goodness. Look at the bumps here in California. Oh, that is hard.
The bumps make your truck very loose here, so it's very hard to race at Auto Club. And if I was in this situation, you know, you're going to want to listen to your spotter very well. Stay in alliance. You see contact mid-pack there. Saves it. Gets back up on the apron. Stay green here. Speed of 46 there.
That's the best thing. And we have 25 drivers show out for tonight's race. And a lot of these races have had, you know, maybe 15 drivers. So I think we have more people show up for California than we've had Daytona or Talladega. This is awesome. And it shows right here. The racing is there. And, oh, man, I'm loving what we're having here, the action we're having right now. And look who's up here in second.
You see right there in second. There's the 30 of James Wagoner making his second start on his way back here and looking pretty good here in the Roughneck Racing Series as he's currently P2. Right in front of him is a 00 of Steven Shu. Steven 30 is going to make a move on the inside. He is right on his up range coming off turn 2.
Oh, whoa, he got really tight behind him. He's going to tag the wall. What a save. And I was just about to mention how when you can get up, and you saw how when he got right up behind Steven Shu and that truck, Steven Shu's truck was already moving up the track. He was tight. But the moment that the 30 got in the 00's dirty air, which dirty air at California seems to be just one of the worst tracks you can deal with it at. And he had no control. I guarantee you that steering wheel was 90 degrees to the left. He could have been completely off throttle, and nothing short of slamming on the brakes was going to save him from smacking that wall right there.
Steven Shu still holding the lead, very strong here, going down the back straightaway in that 00 Toyota Tundra. 2 Toyota Tundras in the top 2 right now, but you see right there, 49 on the inside of the 96 of Matthew Case. Got it home for third. And 49 is going to be clear of the 96.
We're going to go through the field here. Your championship leader going into tonight's race, Christopher Barker there in that number 46 truck. Started back in the 14th position. A little bit odd for Barker. And right now he's just trying to make his way through the field there on the outside of the number 38 truck of Jeff Scott, but unable to complete the pass, as he'll be right there in the 11th position now. So a lot of swapping around still. Chris Melton, our pole sitter last week, our co-pole sitter last week. Steven Shu, Daniel, just to fill you in. I say co-pole sitter. We got a little bit of fixing to do with two things on top of each other there. But I say that because the drivers of Steven Shu, the 00, and the 49 of Chris Melton, they both had the same exact lap time for pole position last week. But because Chris put his lap down second is why he would end up getting the pole over Steven Shu.
See right there, the top 5 separated less than a car length. And you see right there, top 5 now pulling away a little bit from the mid-pack there. But the mid-pack is all congealed back there. As you see now, the 19 of Rick Baldwin battling for second with Chris Melton.
Yep, at this point really it's gonna be can you save those tires? As we see that number 30 of James Wagner coming off again, just the unfortunate getting hit or tagging the wall there, just getting really tight off that back bumper of the 00. So he's looking to try to hopefully for a caution soon, get that lap back and back in with this group. Daniel as well, we don't have 3 faster pairs anymore now with our RC that's been coming in here and chatting with us throughout the races. They're now down to just 1 faster pair for these races.
Actually, he went in because he got a 15-second penalty for going 3 wide on the first lap.
Oh, that would be why. Well, he had some pretty good damage there too, so that wasn't going to help, I guess.
Right. So I waited for you to finish, but yeah, that's why he went in.
We appreciate it. Well, that is nice to know. Actually, this league that they will have a rule for going 3 wide in the first lap. I think a lot of leagues should adopt the same. And as we're talking about rules, Chris Melton said, forget rules, I'm going to go take the lead from Steven Shu.
49 out front, taking the lead over the 00 Steven Shu. Right behind him is Mark Morton in 48. In fourth place, you see right there, Dalton Steele, another strong truck driver so far in this series season. And rounding out the top 5 is the 19 Rick Baldwin, who is currently 5th place. And you see 00 going high. He is not going to get the blue, as you see the 49 blocks him.
Oh my goodness, look at this tight racing. We got a Ford, a Toyota, and a Chevy up front right now. And then here comes Dalton Steele and that number 45 around the outside of the number 48 truck of Mark Morton. And he's looking to make some time up there on the high side. The high side is definitely where you can carry that momentum, but I feel, as he jumps right to the bottom, look at the run he's going to use off of 4 to try to go take the lead in 1 and 2. It's not going to be enough, but wow, what a run there.
Dalton Steele now up to second place in a matter of 2 turns. Now under fire, going for the 49 of Chris Mellon. And I bet the 49 is now feeling the pressure. You see the 45 is going to go to the inside. He's going to have the run. They're going to be side by side coming off turn 4.
You see the 45, it rotates so well. You saw the 49 slide up off the turn, and yet the 45 was still able to keep in his lane. That's solid work right there.
It is solid work. In a 45 now taking the lead here at Auto Club in the opening lap. The 49 Chris Melton leading a few laps now, falling back to second place. That 49 is not letting that 45 go, as you see he is now moving around trying to get around Dalton Steele into turn 3.
Man, what a great battle we are having for the lead. There's great action happening throughout the entire field right now. Dalton Steele now is your leader, up 10 spots, but he's not even your biggest mover right now. Your biggest mover right now is actually the number 78 truck of Matthew Gall back there in the 10th spot, up 12 spots from his 22nd starting position. And we did have in chat his nephew for Jimmy Rowdy. He's up 11 spots from his 19th starting position, now up into 8th. So he missed last week. He's got some points to make up. He's up and on the move here after a rough qualifying.
One driver I want to mention is Christopher Barker, having a very strong season so far. And look where he is right now. He just entered the top 5, so he is moving through the field. I expect him to be in the top 3 in no time.
And look at this battle we still have up front here is Chris Melton would really like to take that lead away from Dalton Steele again.
These two are not having it right now. As you see the 30, James Wagoner having an issue early on in this race. Now trying to get his laps back, but it doesn't look pretty for him right now.
Now, well, we know he's got the speed, that's for sure. There's no question on that. He showed that he had the speed there. If I'm not mistaken, I know we are 75% fuel for these drivers. It's typically 4 tire sets. So you divide that amongst the 75 laps, if I do my math correctly, which isn't always correct. I think I averages somewhere around, I think maybe 16 or 17 laps a set. So if a caution were to come out around now, you could absolutely physically come in and get a set of tires.
You absolutely could. Right now, the 45 still out front. That 49 is now closing in once again on the 45 of Dalton Steele. Let's see if this Ford can do anything. He's going to go to the high line here. Use that middle line. Now he's going to the inside line.
I'm going to go ahead as these guys are having fun for the lead. We're having great action throughout the field still, so it's by no means are we missing out. You see the 13, he's having himself a nice run right now here in the 10th position, so hanging on to a nice solid top 10. We'll go back through here as well. You see the 0-1 of Jeffrey Ledford, and then the 7 of Brandon Etheridge. Oh, can Brandon clear himself in front of the 0-1? It's not going to be enough. Jeffrey still got a good run there on the outside.
And once this tire wear starts falling off, you're going to see a lot of drivers start to line up the track. You don't run into each other. You don't want to create any bad situations out here, I should say, on the track, because that couldn't value on you. But you see some great racing action going on, going down the front straightaway, 3 wide, 4 wide action, even sometimes 5 wide, and that's what's really exciting because they got to determine whether or not they're going to back out of that for turn 1 or they're just going to go for it and hopefully nothing happens. But you know, they sorted out, they raced very clean with the car, which makes a great racing lead, Angel, and it's very fun racing every week.
Man, you see Tim Richardson trying to make the pass. He was able to get around that 7, and they got in front of Jeff Scott. He's trying to get around the 0-1. We've had some great, and that's just, again, when we talk about how much we love this track and its capabilities. But now the question is, you had, I'll be honest, and I'm only going to say this as an option because this is what I would have thought of. You have almost 10 more drivers than you typically have in a race. And you're at a track where tire wear, can matter. I would have ran it hard to start, assuming we're going to have a caution at one point early on, so I can come in, get tires, make up positions, and take advantage of that. But that would have put me in a very bad spot right now because we're 19 laps in now as they're about to cross the line to complete lap 19. So now it's, did you manage your tires well enough at the start of the run? Now, we did have Larry Fairman, Matthew 8th, and it looks like Brandon Etheridge have all made their way down pit lane now. So I'm starting to wonder, are we going to get into that pit window for some of these drivers? And at what point are we going to start dragging drivers down pit lane because of the fresher tires? Right now, we're looking at anywhere from 1 to 2.5 seconds off of our fast times from the start of this race.
And we're already 21 laps into this race, and you can see the tire wear is already falling off tremendously. So it looks like we're running around 20 to 25 laps of tires right now here at Auto Club. And like I mentioned earlier on, Angel, in the pre-race, this track will do your tires up tremendously. And there's other multiple tracks like that as well. For example, Darlington, when we see drivers go there, their tires are gone within 15 laps. So it's depending also on how you race the race car. If you're pushing really hard, it's going to hurt you even more. But you can tell right now, the 45 and 49, they're pulling away from the pack here.
Here it is, our pole sitter, Steven Shue, he's on pit lane. Points leader, Chris Barker on pit lane. Chris Ramsey, Jeffrey Ledford, your second place driver in the points. Jason Kinney, Pete Dillon, that number 63 Toyota, he's new to the league for this week. As well, you're going to see in the bottom left screen, AdminBoxx. We have a new sponsor for the league joining tonight. Now, of course, James Wagner's Welding, still our title sponsor. Want to be a big shout out, as always, thanking them for coming on board for the season. Jimmy Rowdy, Tim Richardson, Jeff Scott, all making their way down pit lane as well. James Wagner's Welding, located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. Father for our Dougie here in that number 30. So again, big shout out to them for coming on for the season. And then AdminBoxx, we'll go over them in a little bit as well. The first point we get an opportunity for a commercial break, we'll get them put on there. But of course, as the name would go, they do make admin boxes, which are very convenient. Daniel, do you got yourself a any type of box like that for your iRacing rig?
I do not right now. I'm hoping to get one very soon.
Man, it'd be definitely a great option. If I'm not mistaken, you get 10% off with Roughneck Racing's code. Give me one moment. I saw it in their Discord. Did it somewhere? Let's see. Yeah, so they're talking about you do get some type of discount in using their promo code for Roughneck Racing. If we need to really get that, we can. I know, Andrew, you're in chat with us. If you know what that is for you on our YouTube, let us know so that anybody who is watching, maybe a driver or somebody looking. We have a lot of fans, friends, and family here in chat. If you want to go give maybe one of your sim racing friends and family a Christmas gift, I think an admin box would be a great idea. What that is really is, it's just what they consider like a button box. You have a bunch of buttons that once you have a USB connection to your computer, allows you to have preset buttons, things to do. You know, you can have caution flags, clear black flags, a lot of things, anything to help with the driving itself. Speaking of, we did have our first caution of the day.
First caution out here at Auto Club Speedway, having a long green flag run already. Caution comes out here on lap 24. As you see, we take a look at this replay right here.
I don't know. This is the leaders. I'm trying to see if... Oh, right here. Perfect timing. Jeffrey Ledford contact there. Oh, that's a hard hit. Let's go back into that. He's gonna have some help. It's hard. Let's go ahead and maybe zoom in actually. Maybe this is the 71 truck of Daniel. No, the 70 truck. I'm sorry. I think this is Jerome Cooper. Wrong place at wrong time there for the 0-1. Oh, that's a pretty decent contact with the wall.
Got some right rear damage there on that machine. As you see the 49, 45, and 25 all come down pit road to get service. And he's bringing a lot more with him.
Yeah, well, actually, we had some split strategy. Some people had not come down pit lane yet. So your top 7 drivers looks like they had not pit yet. So they are coming down pit lane. It's going to trap some people a lap down. Some needed to take the wave around. So while these drivers go ahead and hit their pit stops, we will be bringing in Steven Shu, your pole sitter, here in a few minutes, but we're going to go ahead and hit our first commercial break of the evening, give AdminBoxx an opportunity as the new league sponsor. So we'll be right back, everybody. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here live from Auto Club Speedway for the Roughneck Racing Series. If I can remember where I'm at. All right, as these drivers get themselves sorted out somehow, we're gonna go ahead and bring in Steven Shu. Oh, hold on. Never mind. He is trying to get his wave around. Okay, we're not going to bring anybody in here, Daniel. Everybody's trying to get settled in, and we don't want to cause any confusions. Sorry, everybody. We just want to make sure that nobody's going to have any issues trying to get in and out of, or in the lineup. There's a lot of wave rounds due to where and when the caution fell. And so we're just going to give everybody an opportunity to get lined up. If you are rooting on, if you're new to watching us here, if you haven't previously watched, if this is new for you because your driver's here for the first time, make sure you let us know. We'll see if we get an opportunity to chat with them at one point tonight. But that Iracing.com pace truck is getting ready to hit pit lane.
Here we go, 25 of Brandon Hilton on the outside. On the inside of him is 45 of Dalton Steele. As caution comes back out again, as this is for probably these drivers coming up on the pack.
Yeah, we had a lot of wave rounds, and this is a large track, so it's very difficult to get the wave rounds done with just a few trucks when you have more than half of the trucks coming across for a wave around. That's the reason why we're going to have this extended caution here, everybody. So just hang on tight.
Is the pace truck now exiting turn number 2. He's going to get back on the track here, get everybody settled in for this restart coming up here at Auto Club.
Yeah, so we have quite, let's see, so it looks like the top 19 trucks are on the lead lap. Tim Richardson, Larry Fairman, Matthew Ace, Jeffrey Ledford, James Wagner, all those drivers are going to be out of the, let's see, out of the lead lap currently. And then it looks like Jerome Cooper is maybe out of the race. I'm not sure. All right, well, we're already about to be almost 30 laps in. We're almost halfway through this race, Daniel. I know pace truck's about to come down, but what are you expecting here for some of these drivers to start making some moves maybe here as the race winds down?
Now that we're approaching the second half almost here at Fontana, I do expect the anxiety to go up, the anticipation to go up. As you see, the 45 is going to go into Geico restart zone. Green flag's back up in the air. Gets a great launch. As you see, the 25 of Brendan Hinton now falling side by side with the 58 there of Johnny Hurst, and that is due to the fact that he has on his tires on the restart.
Yeah, didn't get a great restart there. Some of these drivers, all these drivers up front did definitely pit here on lap 25. They had been in the right position at that time. They had stayed out. Put some of these other drivers either a lap down, force them to use an extra set, or just put them behind with older tires.
So far, a great restart for all these drivers. Now, there is a great battle going on in the mid-pack here. We are 3 wide, as you see right there. The 30 of James Wagner.
Yeah, there's 3 wide just everywhere here. And I love the turns because they just spread out so much. You have lanes. You could fit 6, maybe even 7 trucks side by side if you truly wanted. I don't ever recommend it, but you really could do it if you wanted to. That's the beauty of California. The track, I said.
Big track, Angel. And you have various lanes here. You have all the way down to the white line. You have all the way up to the outside wall, and that's like 5 or 6 lanes here at Fontana. You see, we are 3 wide once again with James Wagner right in the middle in that 30 truck and that Chevrolet. You see right there, our poster 00 as Steven Shu right now, currently 7.
Yeah, and so what's happening is that you see Larry Fairman, he's in the middle of this as well in that number 99, 96 of Matthew Ace. These drivers had pit, and they had just gone 2 laps down before the caution came out, or they had pit on this lap caution, or just didn't get a lucky dog. They decided not to take the wave around, come back down pit lane, so they did not have to go to the end of the longest line. Thus, they got to restart in front of a lot of these drivers on the lead lap. So, we got a lot of trucks in random spots. If you feel like the drivers not right according to the ticker across the top because of where you saw them, we just did come across some green flag pit stops when a caution came out kind of right in between to cause us to have, well, this bunch of cars and, well, quite the mix of strategy, which, well, none of us are ever complaining about. Let's get back to the front because Johnny Hurst has actually taken the lead over there in that number 58 Toyota Tundra, and he just put down his fastest lap of the day in the process. So that's a man who wanted the lead here, coming close to the halfway point.
Johnny Hurst, a veteran driver here in the Truck Series in the Roughneck Racing League. Currently P1 right now, gained well positioned here at Fontana, and that number 58 Toyota Tundra right behind him is the 3 of Greg Jolly. Angel, we haven't really talked about the 3 lately.
No, we have not, but he is now up 19 spots, having started back in 21st. Whatever it is, he's used strategy to his advantage to put him to the front, and then you have someone like Brandon Hinton who, well, he started up front. He's kind of gotten mixed around. We saw him fall back a little bit, but the same strategy has allowed him to come back over to the front, and he's been able to maintain it as well. So some of these drivers, it feels like it's going to be a track position game for some of them as well.
It's going to be track position and strategy, too. You see right now the 45 don't feel right behind the 25. Brandon Hinton there. 45 was up front, leading laps, battling with the 49 currently. And right now, the 49 of Chris Melton is currently P11, just outside the top 10. Is not having a great restart.
Yeah, last week he got involved in an incident battling for the lead. Would have to get an EOL in the process. I'd say he wasn't happy, but I mean, let's be honest, Daniel. Who's ever going to be happy about getting an EOL towards the end of a race when the chance for winning the race? But you know, we talked with race control beforehand, and it's everything's got to be clear, cut, and dry. And the 49 took it, and he still came home with a top 10. He managed to still come home with a top 10. Unbelievable. So at least he was able to turn something out of it. But that's a nice thing as well about the Roughneck Racing Series, as we've seen since season 1 last year, and now we're coming to the completion of season 2. Daniel, it's almost hard to believe season 2 is already almost over.
It already is, and it's great broadcasting with you, Angel, and you've been a blast, and it's been fun here in the Roughneck Racing League. I don't know where I'll be next, but I know that Roughneck is just getting started, and it's going to keep getting better and better each season. These drivers are proving to us that they will get better and better each season, and they're doing really good right now in Fontana.
Hell yeah, absolutely. I mean, exactly, and you're right, Daniel. Whether or not it's you're back here with us, you're on another show, whatever it is, it has been a blast to be able to put this show on. We're talking as if it's the last race, everybody. We still got a couple more races to go. Okay, we have this race, we have Daytona next week, and then we have the rescheduled Dover race from when our the very own James Wagoner Dougie here was in the hospital and had to miss that race, and we decided to go ahead and postpone it a week to give everybody an opportunity to just for him to rest up. So we do have that that rescheduled Dover race. So only 2 more races after tonight, and Daytona Dover, they could be 2 entirely different tracks that you could possibly go to back to back.
And it's going to be a very interesting next 2 weeks here as we're going to close the season off. And next week, like you mentioned, we're going to Daytona. Anything could happen at Daytona. You're going to find your aggressive drivers up towards the front like normal. You guys see drivers hang in the back a little bit until it's go time at the end. But no one try to avoid the big one. While compared to Dover, where it's short track racing, you're literally side by side battling for the lead each and every lap. And you get these nice little runs at Dover too, but again, there could be short track tempers at Dover. So it's a 2 variety track there. We're going to Super Speedway, that's over 2.5 miles, and then you're going to Dover, which is less than a half a mile. So it's great to see these different varieties of track that we go through throughout in every season.
Yeah, and you say it perfectly for Dover. You can have tempers flare, especially with it now being the last races of the season. Your points position matters. So many things are going to matter here, and you're just relying on trying to make it through there to the end. Exactly what Chris Ramsey's doing is, wow, you can hear him lift off the throttle there. You know, he was trying to avoid getting into that 99 truck of Larry Fairman, but wow, what great awareness there. Chris Ramsey's. Look, you see the bumps. You see, oh, he's got to slow down.
Oh.
That's how close it is here at California. Listen how tight it got as well. Oh, we have another truck around here too. So he's got 2 trucks around him.
Very tight racing going on. Whoa! You see right there, Tim Richardson, the 2 truck all over the place. And he's going to be random up for the 99.
And that's just how quick it happens. It's nothing happening that the 13 did wrong. There's nothing the 99 did wrong. The 13 had a big run. He just isn't. There's no way he is supposed to anticipate that the 96 has to let up for any reason. So there's so many things going on throughout this entire track that even with all this space, so many things can happen And oh man, these drivers making it fun. As you see, Chris Melton has now moved his way up into the 5th position. He is slowly but surely making his way back up to the field here, as we now are down to 35 laps to go in this race. And we have at least two, maybe, I'm saying at least 2 more pit stops from here. I know we're looking about 20-something laps or so on a fuel tank, and we pit, well, actually, 16 laps to go. So I'd say we're expecting green flag pit stops within the next 5 to 7 laps.
I do expect them to come down pit road. This is probably going to be the final time that they do come down pit road, unless they get involved in a wreck later on in this race. And we are past halfway at this point in the race, so you're going to see drivers making these aggressive moves and trying to get up to the front.
Oh, and Dalton Steele, by the way, is your leader once again there in that number 45 Toyota Tundra. So for Johnny Hurst, Greg Jolly, it worked out for them to stay out. They weren't running up front, but because they stayed out on that caution, trapped those drivers a lap down. They were then stuck behind some other drivers who were not as quick as them or on older tires. It's allowed Johnny Hurst and Greg Jolly to just stay in the top 5 here. Are you now considering trying to stretch this as far as you possibly can to hope for the same thing to happen for you if a caution were to come out?
I could see that, but I don't know if they would make it on field. And as you see at 25 right now, Brandon, he's having a very excellent night tonight at Fontana, and he's currently P2 right now. The only Ford basically in the top 3 right now. And right behind him is the 58 Johnny Hurst, and that's Toyota Tundra. You see him run that top groove there, trying to get a run on this 25, but he's pretty far back right now, so he's going to have to try to gain a little bit of ground. But this 45 of Dalton Steele, he's been putting on a show for us tonight.
Yeah, he has. He is just a man on a mission. We now have the 3. He's dropped behind the 49 of Chris Melton, so he's now moved up to 4th. You mentioned another Ford in the top 5. That being the teammate of Brandon Hinton in Chris Melton. I think Chris, is he the one that's here? Yeah, see, Chris is the one that's just 45 minutes north of me here in Orlando. He's from Longwood, so got a cool opportunity to talk about that last week. We look through the rest of the field here. The drivers are, I'd be interested in Jason Kinney, Christopher Barker, Jimmy Rowdy, Chris Ramsey, and your pole sitter Stephen Shue. They had pit under green before the last stop. They had to take the wave around to get. They had to take the wave around just to get back on the lead lap. So they're gonna have to be the first ones to come down pit lane. And again, their fuel consumption was higher than those who were able to pit after. So they're definitely gonna be some of the first ones on pit lane.
Gonna have to see how this strategy plays out. It could be a make it or break it here at Fontana later on tonight when we come down to the closing laps. You see right there the 46 Christopher Barker. Angel, we expect them to be up inside the top 10, but what about the top 5 and top 3s? You see right there the 3 getting into the wall there. That is Greg Jolly. He's gonna lose 2 positions now from the 46 and 29. He's gonna have to regroup it.
That was phenomenal. The 3 was stuck in the wall and 3 wide. I thought for sure, because you know how it is, you get stuck in the wall here and you try taking it off, and then the only way it rips off is as if it was Velcro and it just snaps around. So the fact that the other 2 didn't go out with him, great job there for the 3. But you're right, the 46, we typically see him running up front. Now granted he's 7th, but he started in 10th, so a little bit further back. Didn't really move from there throughout the early portion of the race. Was able to finally make up some spots, but then because he had pit, one of the guys who had pit early in the window to start, it put him behind. Now, of course, 1 lap down. Then that's when the caution came out. So, and he had just pit 5 laps before. So his tires are also going to be a little bit more wore out than some of these guys in front of him. Now we know Chris is pretty good at tire saving, so it probably would equal out. But it's still, at the end of the day, the issue with fuel. As Brandon Etheridge, who was the first driver down pit lane the first time around on lap 19, that was a lap before the previous drivers that I mentioned. So he's the first one to come down of them. We'll have to see what does everybody else do. And Christopher Barker, Chris Ramsey, Chad Hawkins, Steven Shue, Pete Dillon. Pit lane is open, and I have to assume that we're going to be able to make it to the end of the race from here if these drivers are pitting now.
They will make it to the end of the race. Now, you see these trucks getting serviced on pit road for the final time here tonight from Auto Club Speedway. See right there, 63.
So now, the question is going to be, are you staying out and stretching this as long as you can? You know you have a full fuel run left, so in all honesty, you could stay out and then have the fresher tires at the end of the run while these guys have older tires and just blow on right past them. That's what statistics usually say. But the question is,
Right.
if a caution comes out, and now, what do you do then? That's just the fun part, though. You just never know what to do. And you hate to be the guy in first because, you know, everybody wants to do the opposite.
But here's how it usually goes. You know, you see right now the 45 Dalton Steele and the 25 of Brandon Hinton out on track right now in the top 3. And you see our drivers come down pit road. Well, the guys that are on fresher tires, they're going to gain ground on the top 2. But you are going to need a long green flag run for that to happen, unfortunately, because it's such a big track. And, you know, if a caution did come out, 45 and 25, they're going to be mid-pack or towards the back of the pack. And that's because, you know, you see all these other drivers that pitted early on. Well, if a caution comes out, they're going to get in track position. And these top 2 are probably going to have to come down pit road and get new tires and fuel. So they're going to be starting mid-pack. So they're probably hoping that caution doesn't come out. But, you know, we're just going to have to see how this plays out.
I think you hit it right on the dot there. Really, yeah, I mean, and especially with these drivers, as you mentioned, being, you know, because they are 3.8, almost 4 seconds ahead of Chris Melton third, and then another 5 seconds to Richard Hartman. Now, you had some of these drivers who were closer, who had pit already, but they have this availability to them to really be out here for longer, to be able to stretch it for as long as they can. You know, the time they have that cushion of time to lose maybe a lap or two, stay out there longer. But again, you then gain it on the longer run, which is what we have seen all day long here, is long green flag runs, which is what you have to make your strategy for. Nobody says, you know, people say, okay, well, you make a strategy before the race, you got to make sure you stick with it, stick with your guns, but you also have to be flexible. You have to, it is okay. There's a sports radio host that I listen to often. He says, it is okay to change your decisions, to change your ideas when new information is presented to you. You may have gone into tonight's race thinking it was going to be a wreck fest. Now suddenly you're going green flag runs. You can't pit the way you would have for a wreck fest, and here it is. Your leaders, first and second, Dalton Steele, Brandon Hinton, going to come down pit lane. There you go, my rambling's over. Everybody's coming down pit lane.
Leader come down on pit road here on lap 52.
Oh, caution! There's a caution! And the question is, are these drivers going to be able to pit without getting penalized? I think they will be able to.
Second caution of the night here from Auto Club Speedway. We're going to have to take a look at a replay here. See what happened that brought out the caution.
I think this had to do with Tim Richmond and... Tim Richardson. I keep saying Tim Richmond. My goodness. Tim Richardson, Jason Kinney. So you saw a slight contact there for Richardson. He's coming down pit lane. Is he coming in with too much speed? He looks fine to me. Alrighty. You know what? Before we just keep wasting time, we'll let race control come in here at one point and let us know what all happened there, because I don't see what happened. I was 22 to go, but I still want to be able to bring Steven Shue in. Steven, this is Angel and Daniel in the broadcast booth. You got us, buddy.
How you doing, Angel? How you doing, Daniel?
We're
We're
pretty
doing good.
Now, I hope this isn't a bad time. Are you going to come down pit lane now? We don't want to bother you for that.
No, I'm staying out. I just took a set.
All
Underground.
right. Perfect. All righty. Well, we're sorry we haven't really had a chance to get to talk to you, but it's been some darn good green flag racing.
Yep, I like green flag racing.
Well, I was updating Daniel because he had to miss last week for just for family thing here, and I said Steven Shu wanted to make sure he was sole possession of the pole position this week.
I was trying.
So our pole sitter for tonight's race, of course, Steven, congratulations on back-to-back poles. Did you ever end up getting the points for that?
I don't think I did. I think they gave it to him, so it's all good. You know, as long as Foothills can come away with the championship, I'm good with it.
Oh, no, of course. You know, you hit the Foothills having had that 1-2-3 finish last week. Steven, you were the third-place finisher. What you going to do tonight to be the guy in first next week, or this week?
Really? I think it's going to be a tire game. You know, as long as we can get a set of tires there with 10 to go somewhere in that range, I think we'll be good to go.
All right, then my next question is what happens here if we have a full green flag run here to the end?
Actually, I think I've got the fuel to make it. If you listen to my car right now, I'm shutting it off and just letting her coast.
Hey, it sounds good to me. So it seems like anybody who pit just now, should they be able to make it?
Let me double check. If they're not saving, no, they won't make it.
Ooh, alrighty. So this is gonna be a fun game for us in the booth. We appreciate it, Steven. We'll go ahead and let you go. I have a rule for under 20 laps, so we got to get you in just right before that. Good luck, and I hope we get to talk to you as the victor at the end of this one.
Hey, if you don't mind, I'd like to throw a shout out now to my pops. He's up in ICU with double pneumonia. Pops, tonight's for you, man.
Absolutely. We never mind that at all. We're praying for your pops there, Steven. Hoping for the best for him.
Hey, thank you, Angel. Thank you, Daniel.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Absolutely. We always welcome a nice shout out for a family member, especially if somebody's out there in the hospital. Right now, Chris... Oh my gosh. Chris Barker's going to cycle back out to your leader, Daniel.
Well, I don't think I was expecting this, but okay, that's very very interesting. You see right behind him is the 45 of Dalton Steele. So we got two Toyota Tundras inside the top two, top three, top four, all Fords, and then rounding out our top five is a Ford.
Oh my goodness. You had to bring it up for Barker, and he just said, well, I guess if they're going to talk about me, then I just got to go out there, huh?
Oh, Chris Barker, it's your time to shine because we're going to be restarting with under 20 to go, and we know how fast 20 laps can go here at Fontana.
Well, his closest competitor, Jeffrey Ledford, in that second position in points, he's having an awful night right now. Mired back in 23rd off of the lead lap after that early incident, and then getting caught on top of that off sequence for pits. So this is definitely his time to shine. Although if you're gonna have a bad race, this is the day to have it. But he said, no. Let's go out there and get up. Try to get ourselves another victory. iRacing.com. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, 46 and 45 on front row. Could be the final restart. Let's go from Auto Club.
You're right. Now going to be 19 to go as they cross the start-finish line here. Barney the flagman waving that green flag. It could very well be the final restart in tonight's race. The question is what can these drivers do with it? Oh, I love this view. The digger cam as it used to be on Fox. As these drivers come through 1 and 2, coming off of 2 now, 3 and 4 wide.
Look at that 49 of Chris Melton now outside in the top 3. Again, pushing that 45 of Dalton Steele past the 46 of Christopher Barker. But that 49 is very strong. As you see, he is going to make it 3 wide once again. But here comes the 25 on the outside.
Oh, man. You can throw a blanket over these top 5, 6 drivers. You can even throw in Richard Hartman there, who was your leader when that caution came out. He had decided to stay out right as it came out. So that's really worked out in his favor. These drivers right now, we talked about it, gotta save tires here, and if this just so happens to be the final green flag run, how many of them can make it, and how many of them just thought, there's no chance we're gonna go green here, I'm not saving any. So you're gonna have a lot of options right now, I believe. And Steven Shu, he's right now in 9th, and he looks like he's in no rush to go anywhere. He's on that inside all the way to the bottom, saving tire and trying to save fuel as these guys go crazy out here right now, as we're going to have another battle for the lead as Dalton Steele looks under Christopher Barker going into turn 1 with now 17 laps to go.
We clear the Tundra balance side by side here for the lead. C46 having to run on that outside. He's going to be clear to 45. 45 is going to duck in right behind him, go down the back straightaway. But look at that 49 pushing him going into turn 3, Angel.
Man, oh man, is it going to be enough? You see now the 48, he's been in and out of this front picture. And then you see, let's see, you got the 25, now the 78 of Matthew Gall. Oh no, he's not on the lead lap. He's just trying to earn his lap back the hard way. He's looking to the inside of some of these leaders now with 15 to go, or 16 to go, I'm sorry.
Top 10 literally all within 1 second of each other, battling side by side, using different lanes, trying to get around any driver as possible to get up to that 46 Christopher Barker, but that 46 holding them off pretty good right now.
Yeah, the moves that we are getting, I think this is the perfect time as they go side by side for first. Just give it a moment. I was going to say let's go for a turn it up session, but here comes Dalton Steele to the lead under Chris Barker. He's going to pull the slide job, pull right out in front of him. And we've got a leader once again of Dalton Steele, now 15 to go.
Dalton Steele taking the lead away from Christopher Barker. And look at that 48 of Mark Morton. Could he be an upset winner here tonight at Fontana? Currently P2. He's going to go look to the inside of 45. And he's battling side by side with 46.
Oh, that's going to be close right there. Top 4 trucks all in the 40s mark. 45, 46, 48, and 49. All 3 manufacturers well represented. Not a number we typically see. We see much people using on iRacing. Maybe not for the 46 or 48.
Three wide for P2 right there. As you see that 78 trying to get his lap back, run that top line, gets a great run. As you see, major contact in the back there with the wall. Multiple drivers getting on the outside ball. We stay green here at Auto Club with the 45 blocking every lane there possibly is, but it looks like we're going to go right here almost.
Wow, I'm almost speechless to say the least with the type of racing that we are having here. It is great. We thank those who are watching on our YouTube channel. For those rooting on Daniel Love, he was in a little bit of that pit sequence where he had pit before that caution came out, had to take a wave around, so he is in a little bit of a different position with some of these other drivers tire-wise, maybe only a few laps. But boy, oh boy, these trucks are on top of each other. Here comes the 78 now, peeking to the inside of the 49. But then 49 now to the inside of the 48, to the inside of the 46. We're 3 wide for second, as he's looking to make it a 2-for-1 special coming off of 4. Oh, he's going to do it. Wow.
Oh, 49's going to go up in front of the 48. He's going to block him getting that run. He's going to block the 46 now from getting a run. 45 goes back up to the top. And now they're going to be battling side by side for the lead in turn 1.
Does the 49 have enough in 1 and 2 to take the lead? Wow, he's going to pull right here in front of the 45 of Dalton Steele. Chris Melton, and here comes Dalton Steele. He's going to come with the big move off of turn 2. He's going to try to take the lead right back with the crossover into 3.
And this can make a mistake. That 48 is in a perfect position. That is Mark Morton, currently P3, right behind the 49 of Chris Melton.
Man, what a great battle we're getting to see amongst these leaders. You see the 49 trying to get to the right rear quarter panel of that 45, trying to get some side draft, trying to slow him down ever so slightly, any advantage he could possibly get. He's going to send it into turn 1 and 2. He's going to clear for the lead off of 2. Wow, what a power move for the 49 off through 1 and 2.
49 takes the lead once again here at Fontana with 45 right on his rear. That 48 is currently P3 still. He's going to look to go to the outside, but he's going to stay right behind the 45. Don't count out that 25, but Brandon Hinton in that Ford machine.
Oh man, this is some great racing here. We are coming down, 10 laps to go for the James Wagner's Welding 150. Again, big shout out for James Wagner's Welding and the new sponsor, AdminBoxx. I think these drivers are doing a great job putting on a show for the new sponsor, because what an amazing battle we have for the lead here with just less than 10 to go.
Less than 10 laps remaining here at Auto Club with 49 of Chris Melton, currently P1. But look at Christopher Barker in that Toyota Tundra, falling all the way back to 6th position now, battling side by side with 52 of Richard Hartman III. And Christopher Barker, man, he was doing good on that restart until he started getting swallowed up by some trucks. And now it looks like he came back into the front.
Well, yeah, so he definitely stayed out on that last one. His tires will be just a little bit more wore out than some of these other drivers around him. Maybe only by a couple of laps, but you can see the difference right there. And it just looks like maybe this just isn't the type of track. Wow, as Richard Hartman, it was almost clear. We almost had a little bit of net code you saw between the three of them. They're going to make it stay clear, and they are still almost 3 wide as they're going through turns 3 and 4. The 46 is going to back right out of it as they come off of 4. Here comes Matthew Ace. Oh man, these are some of these other drivers that are just trying to make their way back on the lead lap after they had pit. Jeffrey Ledford there as well. Let's go back up here to the lead as Mark Morton and Brandon Hinton have closed the gap back to the top 2. It is a 4-way battle for the lead within half a second. You give it another half second back, it's Johnny Hurst and that number 58. I have to say, that mid-race jumble up that we had with the pit strategy, I think it worked out better for no one else other than Johnny Hurst, allowing him to move into the top 5, and we just really haven't seen him move out of it since.
Haven't seen him move outside like you mentioned, Angel. But look at Steven Shue right now. Our pollster currently 12th. Lost 11 positions, not looking good for double zero. That's Steven Shue right now. As you see, he's just right outside the top 10, and I expect he said he was going to try to get inside top 10, and it looks like that's going to end in his favor tonight unless something happens here. As you see, the 48 moves to 49 up the track a little bit. 49's going to come back down. 48's going to have to try and make another run here at it.
This is just exciting racing that we get to see here. 4 trucks doing battle, 6 laps to go. The question from here, I almost forgot, Daniel, do these drivers have enough fuel to make it to the end?
I do believe they will have enough fuel to get to the end as Peter 45 of Dalton Field now taking the lead once again here in the closing laps. Could he hold off these 2 drivers that have been on him non-stop the last 2 laps?
Go. We're gonna come down as they come off of turn 5 laps to go. Dalton Steele still in the lead. Chris Melton, Mark Morton, Brandon Hinton, your top 5, or sorry, your top 4. Johnny Hurst being the 5th driver in that one, just a few about a second or so back. Oh man, it's gonna be fuel, it's gonna be tires. You see the 48 get right down onto that white line just ever so slightly. It gets bumpy, didn't like it. The 45 looked like he may have been loose off of turn 4. That might cost him some time. He's just trying to get down onto the back, or maybe off of some of these bumps on the backstretch. Maybe not give the 49 an opportunity to save fuel. At this point, if you can't make it, you'll hope you've been saving, and if not, you're hoping for a caution.
Crossing the line with 4 laps remaining here at Fontana, California, with the 45 of Dalton Steele leading the pack here. That 49, Chris Melton, is right there, and if the 45 makes one little mistake, Angel, it could be over for him.
Well, Chris Melton really felt like he should have won last week's race. He felt like he was the fastest truck on track. Oh, I don't know if he is loose. I think I was loose. It looked like he was almost trying to shake it, but no, he was loose going down, coming off of 2, going down the backstretch, trying to stay off of those really intense bumps. About to be 3 laps to go. Can your top 4 make it? And we know Steven Shu can make it, but he's back in 12th. You wonder that he saved too much there, as now Brandon Etheridge is trying to get to his outside.
49 closing in once again on the 45 of Dalton Steele. 49 is going to wash up the track a little bit, but that 45 is going very low into the back straightaway. It looks like he's avoiding those bumps there. As you can tell, look at that truck bouncing around. Angel going out into turn 3.
We'll go back to that camera angle here coming off a turn, or between turns 2 and 3 in a backstretch, so everybody can get a really good idea of how truly bumpy this track is. 2 laps to go for that number 45 truck, with the number 49 truck right behind. He is just so close, eager for his first Roughneck Racing Series victory. He was close, very quick last week. Let's go ahead and look at it now. And he's not even on the up against the wall here. You see him, it's bumpier here with the 49. Here it is, coming off turn number 4, white flag this time around for that number 45 truck. 1 to go here at Auto Club for the James Wagner's Welding 150 for the Roughneck Racing Series. Can these drivers make it to the end? I'm going to have to assume they can make it, or they're just going to die, or let the trucks die trying.
They will make it. You see a 45 getting a good run off at turn number 2 there. That 49 trying to get anything out of his truck here, but that 45's got a huge gap. As you see the 45 coming to the white flag, he was breaking that draft trying to move away from the 49, so he didn't gain any ground here on him, but the 45's going to come off at turn 4.
And as he does, the 45 of Dalton Steele add to that victory list. Your all-time leading winner in the Roughneck Racing Series, Dalton Steele, with a victory for his Toyota Tundra here in Toyota Land, as they would say. Chris Melton gonna ground up short as the bridesmaid starting second, gonna finish second, and Mark Morton in that number 48 Chevrolet. So we're gonna have a Toyota, Ford, Chevy top 3 after tonight's finish.
Great battles throughout the whole race tonight. We saw a lot of great 3, 4, even 5 wide action, Angel, at Fontana, and it didn't disappoint us one bit.
Oh, man, that was just great racing that we got to witness here on the Sim Racing Media Network. Again, courtesy of James Wagner's Welding and AdminBoxx. Thank you, AdminBoxx. I hope that you guys enjoyed your first race here on the Roughneck Racing Series. I think they certainly proved that sponsorship well-deserved. We'll go ahead and bring in our race winner. Hold on just a moment. Dalton Steele being an SVT racing driver. Dalton, this is Angel and Daniel here in the SRM broadcast booth. We're going to have to just get you a permanent seat up here with us.
I don't know about that. I've been having a little dry spell, but yeah, it's nice to be back in victory lane again. I haven't had it for a while, so it's nice.
Yeah, I know it's been a little while, but Dalton, of course, still the all-time winning driver of the Roughneck Racing Series. Going to come here to Auto Club, and honestly, what was some fantastic racing. I have to say, just an instant classic, probably one of the best put on for the series, and you get to say you were the one to bring home the trophy.
Oh yeah, it was definitely fun. A lot of tire saving in it, a lot of gas saving. I was backing up a lot of corners, letting everybody go at it, so that way at the end of the run I could just get back around them and just pull away from the field. I hated to see that last caution there. Pit strategy was working out perfect. I had no pressure from behind, but things happen. I had to tighten my belt a little bit tighter and get it done, but thankfully I could get the win.
Yeah, we definitely noticed, you definitely had that truck and that strategy, it felt like, to start, right before that caution came out. At that point, Dalton, I was talking about how you really had to change your strategies around according to what is given to you. How do you do something like that on the fly, and how do you stay confident in that decision and, knowing, hey, wait a minute, things have changed, strategies have changed, I got to go work with it now?
Well, it's all about the track conditions and how they change, and as you run the track, you get to know it better. So you have a better understanding of when things get thrown at you, wrench gets thrown into it. You can figure out very quickly what you need to do and what needs to be accomplished. So my mindset going into this was saving tires, saving gas, and then that last caution came out, so I had to change a little bit of strategy. I had to save less gas and tires because I had people breathing down my neck, eager for a win, but I had to save just enough so that way at the end there I could pull away from it with no real challenge. Luckily, I was just able to save a little bit of tires, and I let them get around me. I let them get real racy, and that's just the key, is just use other drivers' eagerness against them. I mean, that's what I try to do the most.
I'm learning that little by little, but maybe here soon for myself as well. Dalton, I'm sure you're gonna have some people you'd like to thank, and sponsors, friends, family watching, and we'll let you go celebrate another dub.
I'd like to thank SVT and Roughneck for having me here. I'm glad that Dougie's back. Praying for him. Glad he's back, safe and healthy return. And I also would like to thank ProtectSol, our sponsor. Going to probably run a different paint scheme next week for ProtectSol. And just happy to get the win. Happy to see you guys again.
Absolutely, Dalton. We appreciate that very much, and hey, hopefully we get to talk to you next week as we get to go to the high banks of Daytona.
Hopefully.
It sounds good, Dalton. You have yourself a good week. Thank you.
You too. Thank you.
All right, second place finisher there, Dalton Steele. We're going to go ahead and move over to Chris Melton. Let's see if he's still in chat here. All right, I don't see Chris in chat. I'm going to just do one more check. No, okay, so my local neighbor just up the road here, Chris, is not here in our chat, so we'll go ahead and we'll see if Mark Morton is. Yes, he is. So I'll go ahead and let you take this one away, Daniel.
Hey, Mark, it's Daniel and Angel in the booth. You got a copy?
I'm sorry?
Hey, Mark, it's Daniel and Angel in the booth. You got a copy?
I'm doing good, boss. Yeah, I do. How you guys doing?
We're doing good. Well, congratulations on a top 3 finish, Mark. Tell us, how was the track handling with your truck?
Felt good. Felt real good. I loosened her up a lot for the later run, but had nothing for the top 2.
All right. Well, we head to Daytona next week in the high banks. Anything can happen. It's the World Center of Racing. What are your expectations going into the second final race of the season?
Excuse me. I gotta. Sorry. So first off, I love Daytona. Put my nose to somebody's bumper and push them to the front. Probably more than likely might be one of the roughneck guys, but you know, my nose is for anybody and everybody, anyone and everyone who has a bumper and wants to go up front. Love draft tracks.
All right. And do you have anybody you would like to thank before we let you go?
Definitely. First and foremost, you guys always taking time out of your day to, out and away from your families to broadcast this amazing league. All the roughneck guys. Phenomenal guys, all the SVT guys as well, and my buddy Penguin. I don't know if he's watching or not, but he's a good guy. And you guys, and James, Dougie.
All right. Well, congratulations on a top 3 finish, Mark, and we'll see you next week in Daytona Beach.
Appreciate it, boss. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was your third place finisher there, Mark Morton. We appreciate you coming here on board. Let's go ahead and go over our results here for tonight's race. We just had that chance to talk with Dalton Steele, Chris Melton. Unfortunately, we did miss him. Daniel just there with Mark Morton there for the 3rd position. Brandon Hinton in 4th. Teammates with Chris Melton, and Johnny Hurst will round out your top 5. Richard Hartman, teammates with your winner in 6th. Chris Barker in 7th. Daniel Love will come home in 8th. Rick Baldwin in 9th. And Jeff Scott going to round out your top 10.
Outside your top 10, we're going to have Jimmy Rowdy, Stephen Chu, Pete Dillon, Chris Ramsey, Chad Hawkins, Larry Fairman, Matthew Ace, Jason Kinney, Greg Jolly, Brandon Etheridge, and Matthew Gall rounding out the rest of the field here tonight from Auto Club.
Yep. I didn't bring it down quick enough. Sorry about that. We do have Jeffrey Ledford, Tim Richardson, James Wagner, and Jerome Cooper, who did round out the field 21st to 25th. I just didn't bring it back down. Sorry about that. Well, as we did mention, we do get to go to the high banks of Daytona International Speedway next week for the Roughneck Racing Series just up the road here from me. Going to be some great action. Can't wait for that opportunity. For those of you who are not already, make sure you like, share, subscribe, whatever you got to do to make sure that you got those bell notifications turned on and moving to always listen to what we've got going on here with the Roughneck Racing Series, which is why beforehand, Daniel even mentioned it depends whether or not he'll be on this show or another show, because we have so many that we have an opportunity to do here on Wednesdays. Once we close up here, please check out our other races going on tonight. Other than that, I do very much thank everybody for joining us in chat for, I do believe, and I might say probably the best race that we've had in this series up to date, and we've had some darn good ones. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. Once again, thank you, James Wagner's Welding and AdminBoxx, for joining the Roughneck Racing Series. Make sure you check out their website, roughneckracing.com. for any more questions regarding their drivers and their schedule or their sponsors. This is Angel Santiago, Daniel Paulus Jr. for the Sim Racing Media Network, signing off. Hope everybody has a great rest of the night. We will see you next week, and a Merry Christmas to those. Almost forgot, Christmas is on Monday, so Merry Christmas, everybody. Hope you have a good one.